making a Gunz inspired game. The name of the game will be MeecheenMe, and I just want to show a little bit of what I have so far. It's not too much. Unfortunately, I've been working on it for 5 years and I don't have much done. Did a lot of back-end stuff like networking, a lot of stuff that I might not even need. So a lot of wasted time, a lot of wasted work. But I'm going to try to start focusing more on the actual game instead of too many back-end stuff, working on UI, working on animations, effects, sound. The game's going to be low poly. It's probably the only way I'll be able to get anything done if it's in low poly. There are a couple of things I want. Like, I want people to be able to make custom models for their character, custom animations, custom taunts, or dances, whatever they want to make. And I'm going to need to make some kind of editor for that. I'm probably going to just, in the beginning, have people require to download the Unity engine. And this game is made in the Unity engine. And I'll make the editor there, and they'll import it into the game. And then later, I'll try to make the editor in the actual game. So what do I have done so far? I have some, basically just the sword, very basic stuff for the sword. I have butterfly, you can't notice it because the animation isn't done, but you saw there. And I don't have flip. There are a couple of game design decisions I'm not sure about. I do have multiplayer set up already, so you could see this is a console. These are just debugging some stuff. They're not actual errors. I just use that so I can see it easier. And this player's right here. This is using the Steam networking. It's using the Steam's relay server. It's a new thing that they came out with. So hopefully this will help avoid DDoS. In terms of networking in the game, is every player connects to every player through the Steam relay. There's not a single host. There is a single room leader that handles certain decisions, like when the round starts, but everyone's connected directly to everyone. This way, if the host lags, only the things the host is handling would lag, but not everyone else fighting each other. So that took a while to try to get right, since every system out there, every networking system is client server based, not really peer-to-peer. So in order to try to keep things in a way where malicious people, hackers, can't ruin things too much, I had to try to avoid certain things or check a bunch of things. And hackers are gonna be in the game. They're in every game. My goal for avoiding hackers is just to let people block them in game. So if there's a hacker in the game, you would click a menu, block, and for that game that you're in, you won't even see the hacker. They won't be able to hit you, and the hacker won't see you. I have a shotgun, a rocket. I also have a revolver and a rifle, and that's pretty much all I made so far. I have a couple of ideas for other weapons. I have one idea is a spear that you spin around and it hits in a wide area and knocks people back. Another idea for daggers is basically their lunge, but it can go in the air or any direction. Not really sure the usefulness of those skills. We'll have to try it out and see. I have player deaths working and them respawning. Currently I only have deathmatch and team deathmatch. Team deathmatch is really what you would call team deathmatch extreme in Gunz. Basically you respawn. I do have the regular team deathmatch or team elimination, the one where you don't respawn, but I don't have the spectator system set up yet. So when I release the game in early access for people to try out, I am probably just gonna have deathmatch and the team deathmatch that you respawn in, just so people could test things out, and I could work on the spectator system later. I have the lobby system working. You have to leave the lobby, and then this is the what I have so far. It's kind of like the Steam server browser, and you could go here. You could search. When you search for the name, it needs to be exact. Unfortunately, if I type in "we," it won't find it. And there it is. Or you could just have no name, and it'll just search for any lobby that's there. You can see that the game on the waiting room is currently what we're in. You can see the way I'm going to have things set up is that when you create a lobby, you put into a waiting room that you could play in. Currently, I just need to set my team like this. So right now we're in the waiting room, and when you join the waiting room, you'll start out like this. With I'm going to have to put game options like choose your map, how many people, and things like that. Probably during when I release it in early access, I'm just gonna lack a lot of options, and I'll work on it later. So what the game has so far, it doesn't seem much. There's what I need to do is I need to get some, before I release it on early access, I want to get some sound effects. I want to get some better effects. I'm probably going to look at some Unity assets on their asset store for the effects. I already grabbed sound effects from the asset store, so I'm probably just put those in for now. I'll edit them up later to sound a little different, or however. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get any music done. I might just make some random thing in the program called LMMS, and just to have something. Most people will probably mute it anyways. I'm gonna need to make a map. This isn't a map. This is just for debugging stuff, testing things out. Over time, it became littered with boxes and things that I don't even have collision. Just go right through. One of the big things I'm gonna have to work on is having the ability for people to import custom models, animations, and even voice lines for their characters. And a big reason for that is that's how I'm monetizing the game. People will be able to, it's going to be free to play, and people will be able to create custom animations, custom models for free. Maybe weapon custom models they'll have to pay, but regular custom models and custom animations, custom voice lines, everyone will be able to do it for free. But some extra stuff, like maybe having dynamic stuff happen on the character, like a tail that moves as you jump, things like that, people will be able to pay for and make their own stuff. They can make a tail, they can make a necklace. Maybe another thing I'm thinking is shaders for their custom models. For example, everyone by default will have just this regular shader, and you could pay to have a transparent shader to make some parts a little bit see-through, or a fur shader to add a little bit of fur-looking stuff on your custom models, and things like that. I'm gonna have to see performance-wise how everything is gonna fit in. I'm gonna try to aim for low CPU intensive game, because my computer can't handle it. It's a old computer, so I'm going to need to make something that my computer can run, which is why it's low poly, low graphics. Another thing I want to set up before releasing on early access is bots. Just something basic just to fill the room, because I don't know how many people are going to be actively trying it and staying on. So you need something for people to do. And currently, the way I have things set up, it's not going to be easy adding player bots, but I might be able to add something, just something to shoot at. It probably won't be networked properly for the time being, but just something. So currently I have the basics of what Gunz has. It's slash shot, butterfly, which you can't really see clearly. I have half step. I think this is called flash step. You have wall jumping and all that stuff. Wall running is wall grinding in here. You could just go like this forever. And also you don't have to slash to wall jump to wall cancel. But doing it slashing will make it go faster, so you have an incentive to do it. But I'm trying to think of new players who are probably be overwhelmed, and they need some easier ways of doing things. So they could just spam dash against the wall, and eventually they'll be able to get up. But you can see it's a little bit delayed. I don't have reload shot, and I don't think I'm going to put it in. Instead, you'll just be able to do it without reloading. I think it'll be easier for new people, and for the old people, reload shotting is like secondhand nature, so it wasn't really hard to do. So now you can just do fast shooting without the reloading. Pretty much only shotguns use reload shot anyways. Every other weapon, rockets, revolvers, you could just swap between them and it will shoot fast. So I think I'm just going to leave out reload shotting just so it's a little bit easier for new players. I don't want to make things too easy, but I don't want them to be too hard. I'm going to put in some things into the game for new players to have, even though they're not something a pro would use. For example, a jetpack. I think I'll have it's a jetpack which would take up a weapon slot, so you're losing a weapon slot, but the new player will be able to actually get up somewhere. So they could have a revolver or a rifle and be able to fly in the air and shoot down on people. I'm thinking of having a weapon that's like a shotgun but shoots fast like a rifle, but does very low damage. This way, think about like Overwatch's Roadhog's Ultimate, where you're just spamming a lot. And I think new players might need that to even hit people as they're flying all over the place. And you'll notice I'm rocket jumping. This I'm not sure if we'll have in the game. I want it, but I don't know if it fits the gameplay of something like Gunz, where people are all over the place on the walls, and having people just rocket jump away might be annoying because they're out of the fight and you can't follow them unless you have a rocket. And a lot of people want to use 2 shotguns, so I was thinking giving a shotgun right click, like an air blast that knocks you back, so that they could spam it to catch up. So maybe people would like that, but it's unsure. I think I'm gonna have it as that for the early access release, but I'm gonna need people to, let me know how it feels and if it's something that fits the game. Currently, the knockback is pretty high. The max speed I have set for people to go is 30 units a second. So you can see if I go backwards, I'm gonna wall grind backwards and then shoot the rocket to speed up. You can see going pretty fast, and not sure if I should lower the max speed to 20. Not sure if I should lower how much the rocket knocks back from just one rocket. I mean, being able to use one rocket to go up here, would that be annoying for people who don't have rockets and have to then chase the person up? Maybe it'll be fine because it'll give rockets a use. Many people don't use rockets in Gunz, and being able to just move around quickly could be fun for players. And that's kind of inspired from Team Fortress 2. That's what I've been playing a lot recently. So you can see there's strafing too, which is from TF2, which is from Quake or something else. But you can move basically without a sword, and that's something I want because I'm not going to limit people on 1 sword and 2 guns. I'm going to have it so that people can have 3 swords or 3 guns, kind of like S4 League. I think it's called S4 League, and kind of similar to Gunz in ways. But they have it, I'm pretty sure they have it where you could have 3 melees or 3 guns. So I'm not sure how the weapons would change if you have 3. For example, if you have 3 rockets, I don't want people spamming it too much. So instead, when you have 3 rockets, it might give you less ammo, less primary ammo, or less ammo in the clip, but your max ammo for the rocket would increase. So this way you could shoot 2 rockets out fast, but you'll need to reload more often. So it's kind of a trade-off. I'm going to be primarily focusing on mainly K style stuff, and I don't know about D style stuff maybe in the future. I know there are some D styles out there that gonna be kind of sad. I mean, one of the things, for example, when you're dashing, you can't switch your weapon. So maybe I'm gonna have a dagger that when you dash, you can switch weapon, and that might help emulate a little bit of the D style gameplay. And with the dagger, when you slash, you won't be able to switch your weapon, so you won't be able to slash shot with a dagger. So you'll be forced to change your play style, kind of like a D styler. But I don't know if I'm gonna have, when jumping and does a silent dash when you switch to your gun and all those D styler things. I'm not too aware of all the little nuances of D-style, mainly K-styler. So we'll see. Keep in mind, this is a Gunz inspired game. Of course, it's inspired by multiple games. You know, TF2 in here, and I'm not trying to make an exact copy of Gunz. So if there's something in Gunz that you like and it's not in here, it might not ever be in here. I'm not trying to get it all in here. You know, I want something like Instaing. I don't have a flip coded yet, so I just have block and slash. But I'm gonna try to get something like Instafall. You know, a lot of these things we're just gonna have to iterate, see what people like, see what people don't like, change things up. And even the maps, I have no idea how to really design the maps, because if people don't like the rocket knockbacks and stuff, then maps would need to be designed differently. People do like the rocket knockback stuff, and you know, all this fast, far movement. Then we would need probably bigger maps, more airspace for people to just go up. But you know, think about in Gunz in town. Would something like this work well in that map? There's a lot of people who like that map, so we might have to change things depending on just something like this. Can cause a big change. So I have a lot to do still. I'm gonna, for the next week or so, I'm gonna try to rush a lot of stuff, like working more on the UI, player, the weapons, just sound effects, better visuals, an actual map. And the map is probably just gonna be something random that I could think of. It won't be really balanced. You know, it won't necessarily be here to stay. It's just something temporary, just something for people to play in. You know, my lobby doesn't have a live chat. I want to have that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to set that up for when I release it on early access, but you know, hopefully more and more updates will happen quickly. Let's see, I have this thing here just for testing. I don't move with moving platforms yet, so I need to work on the custom animations, custom models, custom voice lines stuff. I want to have that out before releasing on early access. I want to set up some kind of microtransaction stuff, just so people can support if they want. If they don't want, it's fine. Wait for the game to be finished. I didn't want to do any Kickstarters or anything like that, and seeing how this, to even get to this in 5 years, imagine if I announced it 5 years ago and put it on a Kickstarter or something. People wouldn't be too happy. So I didn't really want to announce it now even, but I'm procrastinating too much, and I think announcing it will help keep me motivated, keep me going, and to actually get feedback now that I'm working more on the actual game stuff. I don't know what people would want, and indie devs out there say always playtest, always get feedback, and so I guess it's time to get some feedback. I'll try to give updates every now and then, I created a Discord. My Steam page isn't created yet, so when that's created, I'll talk about it so people can discuss stuff there. Because then, suggestions and things like that, Discord isn't the best for that. It's hard to keep track what people say. So hopefully I'll get some kind of forum up on Steam. So that'll be it for now. Keep posted. Keep checking the Discord or this YouTube channel for any updates. Hopefully I'll get better at making videos. It's a little bit awkward for me. I just bought a mic and a headset just for this, so it's a little new for me. Hopefully I'll get better, and I'll see you in the next devlog.